Hey all, this is 012 Boku and...
Here I come to ruin your day. That means the jerk, the jackass, is on his way.
And he's already here for play.
Mmm. No, but seriously.
Don't know why I use that word, doesn't make any sense, but oh well. Hey guys, how you doing? This is, us again. Yeah, I'm doing it again. But anyway, this is us, and we are getting ready to do another Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood review, and, I didn't write down the name of the episode, but it is episode 24. I think it's The Beast in the Darkness, if I remember correctly, but going by what it said. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it was. But it's episode 24, and again, what an episode and what a builder, isn't that right, Jarek?
Oh, a lot of good stuff in this one.
Oh, absolutely. Basically, a really quick recap because this is how it started out. Started with Envy entering a jail cell carrying food, and then he starts mocking this person, and we hear it's the name of Dr. Tim Marco. And Dr. Marco was actually captured by Lust before Lust died, right when she discovered where Dr. Marco was, and he's set up to be the sacrifice. Marco actually starts questioning because, he doesn't want to basically be a part of this. So again, he's like starving himself to kill himself so they can't use him. And he's saying, I know what you're doing. You're planning on using this country and all its people to build a philosopher's stone, aren't you? And he's like, ooh, so close, but not quite. And then he's like, there's more to this. And then Envy doesn't give in to his whims and tell him what it's really about. But he says, Les said you were willing to work with us. And you know what? If you don't, we'll go after that village you like.
Yeah, and he lays it on thick in this one. It's like, oh, come on, think about it. You could stop our little war against the country right now. You just lose your entire village. But hey, I already know you're going to allow us to destroy this entire country to do what we're going to do to protect that little village because that's how you humans are.
Yeah, and then I think it was I think it was said a little differently in Japanese where she said, or he said, sorry, I'm thinking of a she because Envy's androgynous and in both versions voiced by a woman, but it's a guy. But Envy says, like in Japanese, I think he says, humans are predictable. I've dealt with you guys all my life, and, you're easy to fool. I think this is how it would happen in English. In English, Envy laid it on thick, saying, I dealt with a man before, and all I needed to do to trick him was become his wife, and he crumbled. You humans are so easy to fool. And it was just like, that was a great callback in English to Hughes, and way more, I would say, insulting to the fan base who loved Hughes, and it's just like, wow, that's messed up.
Well, what's his name? Envy's kind of in that weird little area, but hey, maybe we should just say it like this. Envy looks like an Astolfo.
He looks like an Astolfo.
Ooh, he was a funky lady.
Aerosmith aside, trademark. But even though that was our own song, Jarek, so maybe not full trademark. But either way, it goes to that to where you could get into it, but basically it's little bit of talk between like Pride and Wrath, or Fear Bradley, basically talking about the country, all the problems they've been having, and how Pride lays it on thick, saying, you're being treasonous by showing respect to these humans, and it's interesting because Pride is thinking, what basically, or not Pride, Wrath, Bradley is thinking, we may lose this one because it's a young man's game, and he alludes how the homunculi have been alive for a long time, probably longer than any of them probably should have been, and that they could lose, and Pride just lays it on thick. So, and like, we don't see Pride. Pride is in the shadow, and they use the spider and the moth with, the predator prey thing, so very nicely done there,
But it's also kind of an interesting extension of what we've seen from Bradley so far, because Bradley, as much as he gets kind of perturbed whenever Roy Mustang does something that he knows is going against him, we see how kind of proud he is. It's like, This kid's got some gall, doing shit on my watch. But on the other hand, I like his style. I like what he's doing. He's impressing me.
Yeah.
And we kind of see that, even though Wrath is technically a half homunculus, you can see the human pride. Like, he's actually really impressed at how the humans have been causing so much trouble that it's setting them back. And it's kind of almost like a father-son or more like a mentor-student sort of thing. It's like, yeah, you're pissing me off, but on the other hand, I'm kind of impressed at how good of a job you're doing of it.
Which, it's funny how you mentioned how it's a prideful thing with Wrath, Fear, Bradley, because if you remember, Jarek, in the original, Bradley was not Wrath in the original, but he was Pride in the original, which again, I know some people would probably want to debate that now, but Bradley could really be both, because he was a very prideful commander, and he loved being the head of state, as he also mentions while talking to Pride, because it was part of Father's ambition. But then, you can also see him in this one, given how crazy he is, how he fits into Wrath. So, Bradley works into both, but it's a funny thing because, again, given how Jarek says, Bradley is a half homunculus, again, it makes sense, and it's probably that human part of him that's sticking out, even though Bradley hates that part of himself, obviously. Again, we've not gotten to that point, but it'll be said later in these, probably in the next few episodes in the upcoming dialogue, because I know we have some dialogue with, I wanted to say Travis Willingham, but that's the voice actor, Colonel Mustang, and I know he has some dialogue with Risa Hawkeye and a couple other cool things. I mean, again, if you haven't seen it by now, there's a reason why Fear Bradley is one of my favorite characters out of the villains, and it's just because, like Jarek says, he's a damn Chad, and he's pretty much a damn good written character, even though he's a villain. It's like, yes, he's nonplussed by a lot of this, but like Jarek says, you can see where the respect is there, even though it's not fully shown, or his admiration, or like he even was thinking, sort of like the old man, maybe we're all getting too old for this. So it's sort of funny how, in that moment, Bradley's like foreshadowing all their downfall in a way. So again, interesting that the head of state connects to that in a way. But I mean that was just an interesting thing. Funnily enough, Jarek, I didn't think we were going to talk about it that long, but there you go.
Well, I mean, hey, Brad the Chad is the raddest of dads.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically we go from that to, because they talk about gluttony, and, Bradley's like, I'm not worried about gluttony, and then gluttony's sucking everything into his giant stomach, which sadly takes Risa Hawkeye's rifle, and then, like, you have gluttony starting to walk out, and then, she has a gun pointed at gluttony, but then she whips out another gun because she hears something next to him in the house debris, and it's, Dr. Knox, the Elrics, and Colonel Mustang still down for the count, and they're all like getting up and getting out of the way, like I guess Knox, Hawkeye, and Knox, Hawkeye, and
Ling Yao.
thank you. I'm like, I wanted to say Lon